Hi there everyone, Josiah here with Womp Creations with another show and tell for you guys. This week I'm going to be showing you my new workbench. Now, you may be wondering, where is my old workbench? The huge behemoth of a workbench that afforded me a lot of storage space within. It's gone. It's been disassembled, and I have a plan for that wood, which has either already come out or is coming out shortly hereafter. I don't know. I'm pretty far ahead on these videos, and staying on top of what is coming out before what is kind of complicated. If it's already come out, I'll have it linked up here. If not, make sure you're subscribed so that you get the notification when it does. But I disassembled that and took it apart. I'm going to be using the wood for something else. But this workbench, as you know, I'm moving soon, and the shop isn't going to be much of a different size than this one. And really, my old workbench was great. It had I had some drawers in it, some shelves, and it afforded me a lot of space in the workbench for storage. But for a workshop this size, it was just way too big. It didn't make sense. So I've been thinking about the layout and things that I want to optimize and change for the new shop, and I decided that I'd be better off with two smaller workbenches like this than one giant one. So I set about making this. This thing was, I didn't film making it. Sometimes I like to come in here and just blast some music or a podcast and just make something without having to pause to film and move the camera, get different shots, all that. I love doing it, but sometimes I just want to come in here and just make something. And so that's what I did for this. I'm sorry I didn't film it, but the second workbench I will include you guys in, and it'll be a more interesting build than this was. This is a pretty bare bones basic workbench, but it is still a little personalized, and I am actually really pleased with the way this came out. To start, my work surface. This is a beautiful butcher block slab that is about 2 feet wide and 50 inches across, which is a really nice work surface. It's nice and thick. I think it's 1.5 inches thick, and it's nice and sturdy. It's durable. Then for the bottom half, it's not super exciting. I have 1 3/4 inch dowels on the sides for the legs, and then a 3/4 inch thick piece of plywood on the bottom for a shelf. I have this up on 2-inch casters, and then I went through and gave the whole thing a nice honey stain, and then I gave it a nice protective coating. You don't have to stain your workbenches, but I just like the look, and for some people it can dissuade you from really using the workbench, and because you're afraid to beat it up. But I actually really enjoy the look of something that is at one point was really beautifully made and has seen its use. So I'm actually really looking forward to breaking this in the new shop. But one of the few things that I did on this workbench that is a little different is because I film a lot of times what I use to film are these friction arms. I'll put my camera up here, and this gives me a lot of freedom of movement, and I can move this all over the place. These are really handy to have around, and I enjoy using them to film. But they come with these little things that you can plug onto the side of that clamp onto the side of a work table, which is fine, but it's kind of a pain to anytime you want to move the arm somewhere else, to unscrew that and then move it to a different side. And so what I did for this is I just drilled a hole in the far end on each corner, and this allows for me to just plug this in move my light out of the way. This just lets me plug it in. See, it's a nice tight fit. That's what I was looking for. So that now, if I want to switch to a different workbench or anything like that, I could just come over here and plug it right into the table. And then I can move this wherever I need to for whatever angle. So I have one of those on each corner, and then of course I brought over my lovely little lamps. One of the most important things in making that I have found is you need to work with good light. You need to be able to see what you're doing. And these things I just picked up for, I don't even know how much. I think they were like maybe 20 bucks each. Super cheap. They clamp right onto the side of the workbench, and yeah, they're just really lovely. I can get really up close on something if I'm working on something kind of small, or just kind of provide an overall light. Those lights are really nice. I've seen some really complicated workbench lights that are great, but these work fine for me. The only other thing that I did to this workbench that some other people don't, it's not uncommon, but some people don't, is I added a power strip on this underneath the actual work surface on my side of the workbench. I think every workbench should have some power strip on it, some ability to plug stuff in right to the workbench. It's come in handy so many times. I'm a firm believer in mounting a power strip to the to your workbench. And then the only other thing that I did is I added these aluminum strips on the side just to make it a little more sturdy, so that now when I need to move it, it's not rocking back and forth too much. And those worked out really well. So this is my new workbench, and like I said, I am very sorry that I didn't film the making of this, but like I said, you guys are going to be getting a build video of a much more involved and personalized workbench later on, so you guys will be all right. Thank you guys so much for all of your support. I hope you guys are continuing to enjoy these show and tell videos. Make sure that you're subscribed. We're still coming out with 2 videos every week. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.